Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll for the Nintendo DS. So last time we have basically just went through World 4, which is Fantasian Falls, as well as Peculiar Lava or something like that, and also same applies to that particularly Ice Folly Land. So today, we're about to begin World 7 and also World 8 and especially noticeable for World 9. And I figure we might be able to do that. So even then though, in addition to able to actually just unlock the another two worlds, as you can see right from the top right corner as well as the top left corner, we also get another two worlds, as you can see from that particular arrow sign, which if we manage to able to press the directional pad up, this will actually takes us to the second part of the world map, meaning that we're going up and above and beyond and all that stuff. So anyways though, like always, we're going to be going through the actual chronological order. So in this case, we're about to be good on to the first world for the sake of this segment of this episode, which appears to be by the forms of Tempest Storm. Now after that, we'll head over to, oops, I did not mean to go back, and after we're done with this world, we can move on to Meteorite Mayhem, and of course the Big Bang Boom. And to begin with, let's head over to Tempest Storm, in this case World 7 in this game. And of course, if you couldn't tell already for that particular background music you're gonna be hearing, that is actually based off from, that was before when Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz was a thing. And basically they'll get a remix by the forms of Pirate's Ocean. So that's how it goes basically, because of that familiar tune right there. And especially noticeable whenever we get on to the later worlds and further and stuff like that. Even though it has been a while since I actually did done some of my commentary and stuff like that, because obviously it's the fact that recently Mario and Luigi just managed to able to actually continuously progressioning in terms of Mario Kart Double Dash, as far as you guys can clearly tell for the sake of clarity. And also it's because of how the fact that I didn't get my good start. Yeah, as you can tell, we're going to be playing as Gon ever since in World 4, so because of that though, we haven't been selecting him for quite a while. So yeah, generally speaking, that's how it usually goes basically, so... And once again, I just have to keep on remind you again is the fact that I do apologize if that particular emulation is getting a little bit slower, which it seems to be more common these days now, especially noticeable if you ever managed to able to actually access this on the emulator. I just wish that that game does exist on the Nintendo Wii U Virtual Console re-release. But unfortunately though, the Wii U itself is basically dead, so this is the only option. Unless if you're trying to able to utilize the homebrew application in order to able to actually add in even more DS games to the lineup. Specifically either this or Super Princess Peach, or even especially noticeable with the Sonic Rush trilogy. So, but unfortunately I have not actually access to those on the Wii U console, just because otherwise I'm also able to actually get ourselves a virus detection. So, well, don't worry, it's nothing like you know, the coronavirus pandemic. That it's just for a technology virus, as far as you guys can clearly notice from the sake of clarity. Anyways though, here's the bonus stage in World 7, which appears to be Skate Park, which, as far as this name applies, basically we need to go through ramp to ramp and all that stuff though. In fact, whatever Win Duffy has already mentioned about this ever since in Super Monkey Ball 2 Let's Play, basically he would be able to actually just to tackle through Super Monkey Ball 2 Challenge Mode at some point next year. But either way though, God knows when until, depending on the actual time or anything like that. So, anyways, unfortunately I didn't get myself perfect on that particular bonus stage, just because, well, just for a little bit of some distractions worth noting for. So, because of that though, there's not much else to say about this, so... And of course, like in any other Super Monkey Ball games, this is where the actual difficulty starts to ramp up, so... Specifically, in some cases, mainly with the forms of, well, the final few worlds throughout the game. Although, conveniently enough though, one of my least favorite types of levels in this game will probably have to be, let's just say, towards the end of this world, and especially noticeable in, you know, Zero G Station, although we'll talk more about it later, because let's take an alternate shortcut by simply able to actually jump off to this ledge, and boom, there you go. See, I always attempt to do some experty shortcuts, just like when I used to play Super Monkey Ball 1, Deluxe, and especially noticeable for, well, just basically between the two. So yeah, I just want to classify that. So, and I can't even believe is the fact that we actually now on the halfway point in this particular Let's Play already, and especially noticeable until specifically on this first day in particular, we might able to actually conclude this Let's Play before we move on to the next game in the Super Monkey Ball series, because one thing I totally forgot to mention, and especially noticeable that Mario and Luigi has not even mentioned about this either, is the fact that according to the forms of some rumors out there, they're about to be making a new Super Monkey Ball game eventually, but I'm really hoping that will be releasing until next year, because the entire Super Monkey Ball series, well, to be more specifically, Super Monkey Ball 1 just almost become 2 decades old, so yeah, I'm very curious to see what that's going to turn out, but of course, it might be still in development yet, so... And speaking of such though, we still haven't found out what the new 2D Metroid game will be like in terms of Nintendo Switch hardware. I do understand about the fact that the developing those games can take a lot more, well, let's just say, harder and longer at the same time, just because of, you know, the stupid pandemic was a thing. So, yeah, because all in all, we'll keep on talking more about the forms of the overall final thoughts of 2020 whenever we get into the very end of that specific year. So trust me when I say that, you know, you might be able to find out until at some form or another, so... Oh boy, this is where things gets a little bit tricky, especially noticeable you always have to be able to deal with the precise movement, and it's bad enough that I'm still playing this on the emulator, so I was expecting if I was going to use my Nintendo GameCube controller just to make things a little bit easier. But unfortunately though, I don't able to actually access to GameCube controller on emulator sometimes because, well, relatively speaking, it doesn't allow me to do that. So that I thought was kind of a little bit underwhelming, but anyways, now let's move on to the final stage in terms of, you know, Tempest Storm. And that's what appears to be by the forms of, I would say, royalty bypass. And I'm gonna be honest with this point, guys, I'm not a big fan of these levels, because, for one thing, is the fact that sometimes the physics can get a little bit wonky in some areas, and also to top it off, if you manage to go all the way up to the entirety of the higher level, in terms of likely if you go onto those one platforms to the other, oh man, sometimes the camera angle always attempts to screw me up. Especially noticeable whenever I managed the first time I played this, back on the forms of in 2006, when the game actually came out in our country, mind you. Oh man, I just keep on getting owned by, not only in terms of weird physics, but it's also the camera angles as well, which, even then though, that might be seems the case, regrettably speaking, so, but I digress. And as far as you guys can clearly tell is the fact that unlike the previous two parts, that we did simply manage to able to, well, remember in the first part of our playthrough of this is the fact that we've only did see Ai, Mimi, and Baby during that one particular part. But in the second part is the fact that we did manage to show off Gon, I believe Baby as well, and also Ai. So, God knows if how the fact that if Ai makes his appearance in this part, well, let's just say not, just because, well, we'll save him up until whenever we get onto the true definition of the final world, which, again, we're not going to spoil things too much about it, so yeah. Alright, another jump cut after skipping that long drawn-out credit sequence, or, if I like to be more precise with, I have to reset the game, so... Anyways, let's dive right into the next the next world I should say, Meteorite Mayhem. And yeah, out of all the actual worlds in this game, I will have to be honest here, this is one of my least favorite worlds in this game. Nothing too difficult or anything, it's just that, well, I'll explain more on that later. You recognize the forms of a diamond level from Monkey Ball 1? Well, turns out it is usually a thing, except the fact that getting that secret goal right there, as you can see on screen, it appears to be some sort of like a red goal that we can able to aim for. Unfortunately though, it just makes things a little bit harder this time around compared to the forms of how it does in the original Super Monkey Ball, because back in Super Monkey Ball 1, in Floor 2, in beginner mode, basically, you know what that secret goal that has been placed? Naturally speaking, is the fact that always has like a flat surface, but in this game this time around though, it does have a little bit of a bend during that particular platform that you always have to get us up there during the forms of that secret goal, which, relatively speaking, I found was a little bit of a pain to able to actually get that secret goal in mind. But even then though, I managed to go at it at the end. Although, the only difficult thing about the red goals this time around, although to be fair though, is the fact that this game doesn't seem to have that much red goals to begin with. In fact, if you do somehow manage to get yourselves a red goal, in this case a secret goal mind you, unlike in any other Super Monkey Ball games, it allows you to able to actually warp to some different place else, or to be more specifically, you can go to the later floors and beyond, depending if you'll be skillful enough. In this game though, not so much, because it just managed to able to go for some sort of like a leniency. Like for instance, if you manage to obtain the red goal, then it'll just carries on to you to the next, you know, one level, not skipping kinds of levels or something like that. So, something's worth mentioning for this point, and there's only 2 of these secret red goals this time around, as opposed to plenty. And believe me, I think you should probably recommend to try to realize is the fact that if you try to able to aim for 2 red goals, something will happen until whenever we complete the 10 worlds. Or to be more specifically, whenever we completed, well, let's just say 0G Station, which we'll point it out until whenever we get onto on Thursday, that we'll talk more about it until then. Oh jeez, the staircase level. It's obviously based off from Super Monkey Ball 1 in expert level number, I would say 47, because obviously in this stage, you have to go through stair to stair, and then basically you would be able to actually get a little bit extra speed, and that way you would be able to actually get onto one of the stairs. However though, it's incredibly buggy in this to me though, just because I swear, I can never seem to able to bypass the 3rd step. Although I did manage to did done the other 2 steps, no problem, but for love of God, the 3rd step, the 3rd step always gives me the actual red troublesome. I mean, it's bad enough about the fact that you've already get enough speed in terms of bypassing 2 steps, but I swear, the 3rd step just always goes all over the place. But, luckily for me, for about a few attempts later, I managed to able to accomplish that, so how's that for that one? The bonus stage on this world is actually the Spinning Sun, which, to me, it almost kind of reminds me of something related to Spinning Saw from the likes of Super Monkey Ball 2, except the fact that, well, rather than just hop onto the actual saw-shaped platform, instead we're going to be able to carefully navigate while simply able to not to fall off, and then at the same time, we just have to grab these bananas, and that's all we have to think of, so... Again, not much else to talk about, I'm afraid, guys, apart from the fact that I'm presuming that Mario and Luigi has already mentioned about loads of things during their Let's Play of Mario Kart's Double Dash, and then basically it's the fact that I'm probably not going to mention about this again, because you guys should probably already know, so... Alright, so here we go with this particular level, which it might be familiar to you, because this is actually based off from, you know, Floor 25 in Super Monkey Ball 1, or in the forms of the arcade version is basically Monkey Balls. So, in fact, relatively speaking for this point, guys, is the fact that we're almost pretty much done with the majority of those Super Monkey Ball Let's Plays in particular, even though there are some left, mainly with the forms of Super Monkey Ball 3D, which we might be able to do that next week. And then, as far as Super Monkey Ball 1 is concerned, I might need to get a little bit more practice with that game, because as soon as I get enough practice on Super Monkey Ball 1, then I should probably be prepared for it. And also same applies to Banana Splits, despite I need to 100% the game first, even though despite the fact that the difficulty is like, well, a little bit too much for my liking. And as far as Monkey Ball Adventure though, well, we'll just ignore that right now, just because that game's atrocious. Anyway, And also we come across into this familiar level, Obstacle Course, which appears to be Buddy Forms of Destruction, Journey Forms of Super Monkey Ball 1 Expert Difficulty in floor 13. As far as I'm most likely concerned about this anyway, so... Hopefully we'll try and able to rank up as more extra lives in particular though, although right before I say that, then otherwise though I'm also able to actually just, well, take my risk basically. Alright, so let's try this again. Hopefully we'll try and able to bypass this, you know, with that particular broken bridge path thingy right there. That, hopefully, let's try this end this time around because, well, I'm pretty sure, unlike in Super Monkey Ball Deluxe Let's Play, that we always tend to go to the left side, but we figure we might as well do it a little bit different by going onto the right. So, and it did work basically, so... Oh, what?! I was so close! Sometimes the controls are so twitchy sometimes. Although, because of how the fact that, well, most people seem to really think that the directional pad can get a little bit unnatural to able to actually just grab a hold of. I mean, again, that the D-pad controls can get a little bit... Well, I don't seem to have that much issues with it. It's just the fact that whenever I play this on emulator, that I'm still thinking of using the control stick for some accuracy with, well, just an accuracy when it comes to control schemes in mind. Like, mainly, if you ever try to play us on the 3DS, it makes the things feeling a bit better, but still, the actual, the accuracy is a bit more far cry to the original 2 games for the Nintendo GameCube, including, you know, Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, despite the lack of, you know, octagonal pivot points, as you probably guys you already noticed by this point. So, either way though, we'll just try to bypass this section again, so... And thankfully, I seem to manage to able to make it, so... Oh, thank goodness. Anyway, the only reason why I'm not a big fan of this world as much as the forms of any other worlds in particular, well, I do like the actual world environment still, but it's just the fact that most of these levels can get outright, well, a little bit frustration, mainly with the forms of, let's just say, staircase level that I swear the 3rd step is always bugging me, and also same applies to, let's just say, the red secret goal requirement if you really want to able to 100% everything in this game. Well, basically it's the fact that with that particular slope that you always have to get a little bit of struggle with, and because of that though I just keep on getting a lot of, you know, trial and error. But oh no, it's not as hard as the later worlds of the game, but it just feels kind of frustrating when if you're trying to able to figure out what in the world you're about to be planning and doing. So as you can see, we come across into some sort of a unique level in this world at least, which appears to be by the forms of Pinball Pursuit. Basically, we're going to be utilizing those little flippers, basically. And that way, if you do manage to get launched by the forms of those flippers, then you would be able to actually launch yourself to the actual goal itself. But then again though, sometimes though it feels a little bit too tricky and difficult. This is mainly due to 2 things, like for one, the camera angle can always sometimes throw you off the roof, and also too many bumpers that like to throw you off. Well, actually, there's also a 3rd reason why that this stage can be tricky and difficult. That was the fact that the goal itself managed to keep on shifting from left to right. So that's the only thing I'm not exactly over-exaggerating at points, but still. Anyways, let's try this again. Hopefully, we would be able to actually get to the goal in the process. Which, quite frankly, I seem to manage to accomplish it, so thank God. Anyway, the last level in this world, Meteorite Mayhem, as far as this world in particular goes, Road to Nowhere, or also known in the forms of Super Monkey Ball 1, it basically just managed to call its wind in journey forms of according to Super Monkey Ball Deluxe levels, so... But originally it was actually from floor 24 in the original Super Monkey Ball, along with Monkey Ball on the arcade machine back in you know, in 2001, so I guess that makes it pretty obvious for that sake of clarity right there, so... But again, though, I do apologize with the actual commentary itself, gets a little bit too bare bones as you can get. This is made obvious just because of how the fact that, well, for one obvious thing is the fact that we almost at the very end of this Let's Play. It's kind of short actually, compared to the forms of how it does it, even though it might be exactly the same length as in the forms of how it does it in, let's just say in Super Monkey Ball Jr. Let's Play, back in during the forms of it, I would say in May, that somehow that I would say Piglet has already did manage to able to accomplish that within likely 4 parts or something like that, despite the amount of frustration that he always have to go through, so... Anyways, let's go straight forward and grab some bananas in the process, even though it seems kind of worthless in this world, because World 8 has been simply an accomplishment. Thank God this world is over. But that's just probably just me anyway, so another jump cut later, just in case if I was gonna able to reset my game again, and let's move on to one more world for the sake of this video, and for this world, let's go for, you know what, let's go for Baby, and for this particular point, the bottom section of this world map is fully completed, and now let's move on to the majority of the final few worlds just on top. And to begin with, let's head over to Big Bang Boom, which apparently we're going to be transported to this little vortex, as far as I'm aware, or this little black hole portal or something. But then again, though, it has been a long time since I actually played this. And in fact, let's take this nice little shortcut on the very first stage of this world. Seems kind of handy for me. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point as well, although I'll talk more about this later, because in the forms of converse, basically this is where we come across into ourselves the final red goal in the game, because as I said this before, there was only 2 secret goals in the game. But if you do somehow manage to able to accomplish the red goals, as you can tell, then I'll mention more about it until on Thursday, as I said earlier, so... Oh, and also one thing I should forgot to mention is that the Meteorite Mayhem, until in Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz in the Nintendo Wii version, basically the music in Meteorite Mayhem was actually based off from Sinking Swamp World in during the forms of Banana Blitz, whilst in the forms of Big Bang Boom World, as what the world we're in, basically that music will come back until specifically in Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, in specifically Space Case Worlds, so it's one pointing out for that particular reference right there, especially noticeable how the fact that, well, I just simply don't understand about the fact that the HD version of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz doesn't seem to able to bring back the original soundtrack on the Nintendo Wii version of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz music to begin with. Which, to me, it doesn't make that much sense, but either way though, it's just the licensing issues, as you probably guys should already know. Oh, actually, I just want to get this out of the way right now, because even then I probably might as well do Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD until, well, let's just say in Sonic's playthrough, for the majority of that particular side Let's Play for Banana Blitz Let's Play in general. In fact, we might as well able to do that until specifically in December, even though originally we were going to do that in the beginning of, well, this year in particular, just right before the lockdown was a thing. Well, unfortunately though, we've managed to able to come across into ourselves some sort of like a blackout, or to be more specifically, the actual electronics, or even especially noticeable, the power went off. So that might be seems the case back in the day whenever we have to deal with the forms of certain stormy weathers and stuff like that, most notably with all these little strong winds and also heavy rain and all the other jazz, as far as you guys should probably already know. So anyways, the bonus level in this particular world, as you can see, we ended up in some sort of like a bowl, which I have no idea why we're able to get stuck into this bowl to begin with, but it's sort of understandable with how the fact that most bonus stages can get a little bit tough and difficult, but regardless of such, I think I'm gonna be perfectly fine with 9 lives. Especially noticeable how the fact that, well, technically speaking, is the fact that much like in Super Monkey Ball 1, as well as Super Monkey Ball Jr., and even Super Monkey Ball 2, and even Deluxe if you want to count that, And I believe also same applies to Banana Blitz and Step and Roll and 3D, and even especially I don't know if it's like Banana Splits as well, but usually relatively speaking is that if you get like 0 lives counter, basically you still get yourselves 1 chance left, very much like in the majority of the 3D Mario games, specifically Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and especially noticeable with Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, and that's as far as I can say about this for the majority of this actual parts right there. So anyway, so here we go with this next level right here. Basically, this appears to be based off from Vlog, from the likes of Super Monkey Ball 2, just because you go through likely grid to grid for those little square-looking platforms that we have to hop over to. But honestly, this level's not too bad, at least if you ever played Super Monkey Ball 2 before, so alright, so next level appears to be Trail, so in this case it might be self-explanatory to able to get grips with. And especially noticeable how the fact that since I'm gonna have to still need to be more super precise with all these movements and stuff, because if I go too fast, then I'm also able to actually just gonna have to take my chances to able to, well, you know. Oh goodness gracious, is this momentum from Super Monkey Ball 2? Oh my god, it is momentum. Even though weirdly enough, it just calls this level Pendulum to be more precise with that particular stuff like this. So anyways, let's give this a second attempt, and thankfully, if you manage to bump into this little thing right there, you can able to actually fluke yourself from there. Maybe because back in your forms of our Let's Play of Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, as well as Super Monkey Ball 2, we keep thinking of the physics like this, especially noticeable how the fact that usually because of that though, I just have no idea why, I just keep on thinking about it. Alright, so the next level is Wheel of Fortune, not to be confused as the forms of a, let's just say, American type of TV show or something like that. Although I'm pretty sure it also exists in the UK as well. But then again though, all you have to do is basically get a good running start, much like in Super Monkey Ball 1, as well as Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Then you would be able to actually just to get to the goal super easily. And the final level on this world, which appears to be Starlight Express. And this appears to be inspired by Spiral Hard. Well, I was able to pull off a shortcut, but unfortunately though, I'm also able to get plenty failed attempts on that for the sake of that, you know, that segment. In fact, while this is going on, I'm gonna have to end things off here, so join me next time on Let's Play Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. We're gonna have to finish up with the final 3 worlds, so I'll see you guys on Thursday. Later, fellas.